Dr. Johnson was the founder and chief executive of a private student loan company, Reunion Student Loan Financing Corporation, before assuming his official role with the department. Is that correct?
That probably is correct.
Yes, it is.
Let me just interject.
I would like to continue.
And I would like to make clear that
we'll give you some time. I will get to it. Thank you so much.
The individual you have referred to is not part of the acquisition or procurement team.
Okay.
Welcome back to the channel. What you're about to watch is a clear case of political theater. Representative Ilhan Omar comes in aggressively, trying to set up a gotcha moment against then Education Secretary Betsy DeVos. She uses heavy buzzwords like conflict of interest and billions of taxpayer dollars, hoping the accusation alone will make an impact, but DeVos doesn't fall for it. She stays calm, steady, and sticks to the facts. As the exchange continues, you can actually see Omar's argument fall apart in real time. We'll show you the full clip and then break down how DeVos not only defended herself, but completely turned the tables. If you like watching political ambushes backfire, hit like, subscribe, and let's dive in.
Thank you, Chairman. Madam Secretary, countless news sources have reported on the conflict of interest that run rampant through your top aides, especially those advising you on higher ed and loan servicing. When responding to questions about these conflicts, you have failed to adequately convince Congress and the American people that these conflicts do not interfere with the billions of taxpayer dollars flowing from education to corporate interests. Today, I would like to better understand your decisions for selecting aides and ensuring that their conflicts do not harm taxpayers. Last May, 4 of my colleagues on this committee sent your general counsel a request for information about conflict of interest surrounding your $2 billion next-gen loan servicing solicitation. Given that this solicitation is given, I would like some information about the team that's leading it. Does Dr. A. Wade Johnson, is he the one that's spearheading this solicitation?
Dr. Johnson is head of the Next Gen Initiative.
All right. According to New York Times investigation, Dr. Johnson was the founder and chief executive of a private student loan company, Reunion Student Loan Financing Corporation, before assuming his official role with the department. Is that correct?
That probably is correct.
Yes, it is.
Let me just interject.
I would like to continue.
And I would like to make clear that
we'll give you some time. I will get to it. Thank you so much. Dr. Johnson was also the executive at the two financial services companies, First Data Corporation and TSYS. Additionally, Dr. Johnson was hired at least one other TSYS veteran, Mr. Patrick Fox. Have any of Dr. Johnson's previous employers bid on elements of next-gen solicitation?
Congresswoman, all of my staff, all of my team at the Department of Education and Federal Student Aid has gone through their ethics process, has taken and takes their ethics obligations very seriously. We don't have conflicts, and we will not be conflicted. We continue to have a robust screening process, and can stand and be very resolute about that.
So given that there is about $2 billion per year in taxpayer dollars flowing through this program, will you commit to releasing communication between the procurement team and any of Dr. Johnson's former employees?
So all of the procurement is walled off from the rest.
That would just be yes or no. Would you be committed to releasing any communication between Dr. Johnson and his employees?
Not to releasing internal communication, but the procurement team is walled off from the rest of the team, and the procurement process is very definitely prescribed as to how it has to happen.
That has not clearly answered my question. The federal acquisition regulations have a section on conflict of interest. It states, the general rule is to avoid strictly any conflict of interest or even the appearance of conflict of interest in government contract relations. While many federal laws and regulations place restrictions on actions of government personnel, their official conduct must, in addition, be such that they would not have no reluctance to make a full public disclosure of their actions. You seem to have reluctance to make a full public disclosure of the actions of the head of the department's largest single procurement team, despite there being obvious appearance of conflict of interest. How is your denial to release communication in line with extremely high conflict of interest standards that's required by federal law?
The individual you have referred to is not part of the acquisition or procurement team.
Okay. But we need the communication that is happening between the procurement team and the employers of Dr. Johnson.
That process is walled off from any other process.
Now that you've seen the exchange, let's break it down. Omar's strategy is pretty clear. She isn't asking questions to get answers. She's trying to create a viral moment. She opens with broad accusations, citing multiple reports, without naming a single one, putting DeVos on the defensive right away. Then she targets Dr. Wayne Johnson, reading through his resume as if his private sector background is proof of wrongdoing. That's the irony. His experience is exactly what made him qualified for the position. DeVos never loses her composure. She calmly explains that everyone on her team goes through a strict ethics review and refuses to get pulled into personal attacks. When the conflict of interest claim goes nowhere, Omar pivots to arguing about the appearance of impropriety and demands internal communications. That's when DeVos lands the key point. The person Omar keeps referencing wasn't even involved in procurement or acquisitions. In one sentence, the entire foundation of the attack collapses. Omar's last move is to claim the public believes there's a conflict, which is basically an admission that she has no hard evidence. In the end, this wasn't an exposé. It was a failed hit job. DeVos stayed disciplined, stuck to the facts, and tore down a narrative built on implication. That's grace under pressure. Let me know what you think in the comments, and